What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Lost to Talks podcast, episode number 34. Thank you for tuning in. How's everyone doing?
Chilling, man. Here, another week.
I feel like every time I ask you how you doing, your response is chilling, man. You know how it is.
You know what's weird? I already feel like I got into a mode where I forgot what it's like to live in a time before this. You know, like I'm already wondering like what it's gonna be like when I go back on the bus and go downtown and shit. Like
I don't even want to go back on the bus.
Like, I've gotten used to it. I think. I guess so. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm coming more and more out of my little, not depression, but like
the weather is getting better, so I'm taking more walks and stuff. Exactly. I think that makes all the difference in the world.
The weather is making me like this, not this week, but the last 2 days or so have just been really good. So yeah, man, I even got a lot of work done today. Like I was working on the treatment and stuff like that. I did some editing, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like myself once again. And I edited outside too. I was like, it was blessed.
Mm-hmm. You edited outside?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did outside. I did the treatment a little bit outside, and then I came in, and then I was working on it. I'm kind of working on it right now while we do this.
That's what I've been doing too. I've been taking walks in the woods, and then I write shit on my phone, Google Docs. If I have to write an email or if I have to write some shit, anyways, why be on my computer? Like I just do it in the fucking woods, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
I used to writing on my phone now, so it's fine. Like
yeah, I think that's how a lot of people are writing now, just on their phones. That makes sense. That makes sense. Today, yeah, man, I was actually doing a bunch of writing too, writing a script for a video.
Okay.
Can't spoil what it is, but
secret video.
It's just a YouTube tutorial video. Nothing crazy. I write the script. I write a script because it's just easier for me to write down what I'm gonna say. I don't know how YouTubers wing it. It's so hard to me. But
some of them wing it, but a lot of them have like notes. I see a lot of them looking at notes like on their computer.
Yeah, they have something.
The cuts are very frequent in those.
Yeah,
YouTube
man.
videos.
That's why
they make a lot. They cut it up.
I've only seen a few YouTubers like actually just have a no cuts and they're just talking.
They're just talking. Those guys are talented, great. Bro. Like they know what they gotta say, and they're just good at talking. Yeah, like just straight. If you could talk for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, about something.
Do you think that that's a skill that you could develop online? I feel like those guys develop it because they've talked in public so much that they've had to remove the, they have to do those speech practices. I guess you have to do that now. I don't know, do you think YouTube personalities do that? Like, do they do like try to take the ums and the pauses and things out of their speech?
I think they do once they start getting more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like corporate looks and stuff?
Kind of corporate, but even when they start moving up, you know what I mean? Like you'll notice that a YouTuber they're talking different when they have a lot more eyes on them. And I guess it just comes with experience, you know? And yeah, it comes with, depending on who you're working with and what's going on and if you got sponsors and stuff like that, for sure. But yeah, it's a true talent.
That's such an underrated skill to be able to just talk for minutes. It's like the only people that need to do it are like late night show hosts or whatever, comedian, like stand-up comedians, politicians, wrestlers.
I always love like hearing just like people just have a conversation and just talk too. And have you ever just heard somebody that just talks well and they can just speak and their ideas and everything that they're saying is just flowing and it makes sense and there's like barely any ums or.
I remember when Sanford sent me for watching TV, we just had a conversation just to kind of like test out, what kind of ideas we could come up with, like how he could like flow the conversation. And he ended up using it. But at first his comments were like, yo, I don't know if I'm going to use it because you said like a lot. And then he sent me a little, like a couple clips. Yeah. And I was like grossed out by how many likes I was using. I'm like, yeah, we're not using it. But he ended up using all of it. Like we never re-recorded anything. But after that, I started thinking about how much, like that was the first time that I ever actually cared about how much I used that.
Yeah,
it's a valuable skill.
So I'm the one who edits our podcast. So I listen to us talk. And yes, we use probably more stall words than we should.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Like is one of those words that, and I've talked to my girlfriend about this, and I've even asked her, when you listen to the podcast, do you hear like come out of my mouth every other word? Sometimes. And yeah, I'll go on when it depends on what I'm talking about, but I'll go on these spurs of saying like a lot. And I don't even know it's happening until I listen back to my voice. It's crazy.
It's because we're just talking too, you know, we're not thinking about it like we're saying it to be, you know.
Yeah.
And I just used two.
As he used like 4 times.
I can't stop.
Yeah. Like is my number one word. I think it is most of ours actually.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's like a Scarborough thing or.
Nah, it's a people thing. Everybody does it.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Because a lot of people, and like even when I was doing drama and stuff like that in school, and like you're doing improvisations and stuff like that, right? You're not able to use those likes and those ums because you're supposed to be fluid in everything that you are doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's about just experience. I feel like mostly, and being well aware and listening back and even hearing yourself in the moment, and trying to stop yourself.
That's
like
exactly
even when
what
I just
I've
said
been doing.
Just now, I heard myself say
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been doing. Since I kind of figured out that I did say like a lot, I've been trying to correct myself. There was a couple podcasts ago where I was mentally trying to make myself not say it. I think slowing down my speech.
I was just gonna say that slowing down is probably the easiest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so hard sometimes because you have so many thoughts coming in. You're like,
but then the thing too with it is it makes you sound smarter because
and that's what it is. People are just talking
your
slow.
Words. They're like, oh shit, you know, because you're just like they're just holding in your thought, and you're like, okay, he's really thinking about what he's saying, but you're just extending your time. You know,
I'm trying to get to that level.
Yeah,
like, I just get too excited sometimes.
I'll give you an example. Joe Rogan, right? He speaks relatively slower than the average person. But when he speaks, you feel like what he's saying is very intelligent or important.
Yeah, right? But it's not really.
And it's not. He's talking bullshit half the time.
Joe Rogan is like the dumbest person on his podcast.
Yeah, he really is. You know what I mean? But he rarely uses stalwarts if you listen to him.
He's experienced. He's
very experienced.
Yeah, too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not really saying anything intelligent. But when you listen to him, you trust what he's saying. You feel like, oh yeah, he knows his shit. You know. So, yeah, that helps. So yeah, it's all about experience. It takes years to build this skill, I feel like.
And I think just naturally as you get older, you just start taking longer to say your words, so it just helps, you know.
Yeah.
That's why old people sound wiser, but
you know. But they're just slow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like shit, he's speaking so fast, bro.
Not now. Like before with my parents, I was like listening, but now I'm like, oh, okay, like it's just.
Oh, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
You can't breathe like you used to.
Yeah. Like this is just hurting you to like get these. Oh shit. Okay.
What are man's sipping on tonight, yo?
I got
Go ahead.
I got this Strongbow rosé apple cider.
Oh, that's nice. The rosé.
And then I found this. You guys know about the Faluda?
No.
What the hell is
that? It's basically like I think it's from like India, Pakistan. It's like a bubble tea basically. It just comes. It's like drink with like these little like I don't know what it is, but they're kind of like tapioca balls.
That's sick.
We'll mix up.
Oh, okay.
In the dice cup, in the dice mug, yeah.
Hey, look at this man, eh? What are you sipping on? You?
I'm drinking
the Loyal Budman.
Yeah, no, I'm drinking a Buttersworth. I'm drinking a Molson. Oh yeah,
Molsey. Oh, sorry.
Dog, I haven't been to the beer store in a minute, so.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just whatever's in my fridge.
Yeah, I got the Ciroc and ginger ale today, but
that's the classic.
Yeah, but I'm at the
can't
best.
Go wrong.
And if mans are peeping the Instagram today, I got the Ray and Nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I saw that. What is that? I'm not familiar with that.
You don't know the Ray Neff?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
We gotta get Ian on the Ray and Neff.
As soon as next Nui session, bro. We're introducing you to the Ray.
I'm just gonna say, Ian, 63%.
Wait, is it vodka or rum?
Rum.
Okay.
Overproof.
Yeah, you can get overproof in Canada.
LCBO, buddy.
You didn't have that at my house. I had some in a jar or something from my brother. He got a big one from Jamaica, and I had some in my.
Was it that one?
I'm pretty sure it was Ray and Nephew. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe
I did have it.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
If you are from the Caribbean, the Ray and Nephew is just.
I prefer the dark rum, but
it's everything. Yeah. It's everything, and it's your worst nightmare, and
yeah, it sounds
it's a great and bad experience.
The older generation loves it because it reminds them of the whatever their mash was of the day, the moonshine, whatever they called it. It was everyone had their own homemade thing. Everybody had a relative that made their own liquor, and it reminds them of that. So
yes,
that's like
because that shit was just like lethal. Like I don't know, Yeah, that was like 70, 80. I don't know, probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's it's like 2 shots for one. Go ahead. It's like 2 shots for one almost.
Pretty much. We were doing a drinking game on Christmas at my place with my whole family, and you had the Ray and Nephew shots, and there were also shots of water, and then we had to play like roulette, and then you like choose a glass.
Yeah.
Bruh, I had like 5 shots.
Oh God!
As I was taking the 4th, I was like,
crazy.
I'm done.
I don't think I've ever had more than 2 in a night. I don't think I've ever.
When I had the 5th, I had it, and the way I could feel I was about to throw up, bro. I was like, I put my glasses on. I silently walked out.
I know those ones. When it just warm, it's just the warm.
It's right here,
and then it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's just working its way up, bro.
Yeah,
I just went outside to the side of my house and I just yacked, bro. Yacked quietly. The most silent yak ever.
It's funny.
And I just came back inside. Nobody took me in. And then I went upstairs and laid down. And I was done, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Done. It's just not. It's not. You don't play with it. You shouldn't play with it.
No. But you just respect it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I got that just to sip on if need be. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be good with this tonight. And yeah, man. That's it. What are the listeners sipping on this evening?
Yeah, yo. I feel like some of them are driving, but
maybe
or on a bus.
What do you on your way to drink? What do you want to drink?
What do you on your way to drink?
What do you want to drink?
Pum pum.
Quarantine drink. Pum pum.
That's going on the soundboard.
I know.
Okay, topics.
Yeah, let's get to topics now.
We started the last podcast with alcohol talk, and we started this one too. Yeah, that's funny.
Because it's an easy talk. Because we're always, what are we sipping on?
Yeah, what are we sipping on? I'm gonna come next week with something different because I'm drinking the basic bitch shit, and everyone is.
Yeah, you're looking real white.
Like I'm looking real. Well, shit.
Fuck.
I'm staying true to who I am, I guess.
Don't kill me.
I'm kidding. Yeah. So
at least get a Guinness, like.
Guinness is so like heavy in your stomach. Like
you don't like Guinness?
Like I like it, but not really.
You're disrespecting your brethren, yeah. I mean, not really, but
your brethren.
It's like the most mainstream Irish beer ever. Or stout, sorry.
So but they love it in Ireland though, like so.
Do they really?
They actually drink that shit.
Shit, I thought it was like basic, like a that Corona in Mexico, like they don't fuck with it really,
That's basically it's like it's the default that you get at a bar, at a pub. Yeah. And then if you want something else, sure, but you have to ask for it. But if you're just like a pitcher, it'll be Guinness.
Like I can't drink more than 2 cans of Guinness.
Dublin at least. I don't know.
It's like in my stomach. It's just ugh.
I like pints. I don't like the cans of Guinness.
Yeah, the pints. You have to get the pints because it's the coldness and like the right amount of froth. It's the cans are they're hit and miss. Like they have to be really cold.
Yeah.
And you have to already like the flavor of it. You can't just be. You have to already like the draft.
Yeah, you can't be introducing yourself to a Guinness through a can.
Fair enough. True.
But yeah. Anyways, done with the alcohol talks.
Yeah.
One more thing. Irish car bomb. You also have to do that.
Yeah. Yo, just pull up with both of them next time. And
Yeah. What is it? Bailey's and Guinness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it out like your asshole or something.
Our guest has arrived. Perfect timing.
Oh, he's arrived? Perfect. 34, episode 34, Lost in Talks Pod. We got the boy in the house. Tamir, how you doing, sir?
Honestly, man, I'm doing blessed, man. Grateful to be here with each and every one of you guys. Really good seeing you guys.
Yeah, you too, bro. You too.
Really good seeing you guys, man. Yeah, man, I'm well. I'm well. Yeah, man. How about you? How you guys?
Yeah, we're cool, man. I'm cool. I shouldn't speak for them. Okay. I'm cool. I've been chilling.
Beautiful, man.
Taking all of this in, you know.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on and just trying to work it not necessarily to my advantage, but just trying to keep it relaxing and also productive, you know.
100%, man. 100%. How about the rest of you guys?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Like, I think the weather in the past week has really just been a simple thing that's really helped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For instance, like a couple days ago, I got to just take a nice little walk through Malvern, and I put your tape on loop. Mm-hmm. It was just a nice day, you know. Like, it's just like I'm like, all right, yo, like I'm okay with this for. If I could deal with this for next couple months,
yeah,
you know? Like I could do this.
Yeah.
This, man. I can talk with this guy for that.
Yeah. For me, life's just going slowly back to normal. Slowly, but surely.
Yeah, you started working, right?
Yeah, I'm back at work, my day job. So, yeah.
Okay.
It is what it is. It's so weird. It's just the way you operate is different because of social distancing. But
yeah. What were you doing for work? What were you doing?
Well, I work at a pool store on the side.
Okay.
Yeah. I sell like products for that industry, like hot tubs and stuff like that. I sell.
Yeah. Wavy.
Yeah.
Literally.
We're gonna need that wave tub soon, you know.
Literally.
Yeah.
The spa. Need a swim spa.
The youth need that spa, yo.
I want to cop a swim spa. It's like $20,000. I'll cop one though.
That's how you get the kids out the streets. Yeah. You got a spa.
Yeah.
Relax.
But yeah,
it'll be for us though.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've been busy. You've been making some moves recently. Mm-hmm. You got a mixtape out. How's that, man? How's that been so far?
Let's say an EP.
Yeah, an EP. Honestly, man, I'm not ashamed with the title Mixtape. I'm good with that. Yeah, man. Honestly, it's been luckily been able to use this time within the quarantine to just kind of go within myself and get some those deep personal questions answered. I guess ultimately just having the time to ask myself those questions. I'm kind of grateful for just having that time afforded me to do that. Something just kind of came over me. Like I started working on a couple of records, and something in me was just like, yo, bro, like I know sometimes I struggle with like delivering content, at least in my own world. I feel like I do, and something just said, yo, bro, like the next couple of records that you work on, we're gonna just throw those on a project, and we have to drop it during the quarantine. And I stuck by that decision, and I kept making many decisions until that final one was done. And now, I'm grateful enough to be in a position to have given you guys some music to rock with. So I'm happy, man. I'm really grateful, bro.
That's great. I think Jamal would agree with me. I think it's easy to kind of mistake it for a mixtape because it's kind of a mixtape in the greatest sense of how it harkens back that I'm not even gonna say golden age of hip hop, but like the golden age of hip hop for us, early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
Our formative time in hip hop, and I think that's what kind of refreshing air it brought to us. That's what Jamal and made a comment about that earlier in the week, and that's kind of what we both agreed on with that.
Thank you guys sincerely, man. I really, I'm just glad, man's had something out there that gives you guys an opportunity to just like build some, like just relate to it, however you choose to relate to it. Like I'm grateful that I have something out there to give you guys a chance to do that. You know,
when I saw you drop the track list, and when I seen Sugar and Carlos, I'm like, oh fuck, that's already gonna be my favorite song. And
yeah. I saw that too. I'm like, oh shit, what's this song?
Yo, I'm so happy that, like, you know, the ones who know, you know. I said,
yeah,
regardless of how big the project gets or doesn't get, let's hypothetically say, you know, it crossed the border and started doing some real numbers or something along those lines. Like, I always know, like, the man them back home, the people back home, they know what I'm on.
Exactly.
But it's such a, you already know how specific of a reference that is. So, yeah, man, just glad to, you know, I've had those guys in our lives so I could put a track on it.
Yeah, man, that's sick, man. I already told you, and I told Kevin, and I told you I was gonna say on the podcast, yo, this if you haven't heard this tape, people, Don't Let Fear Kill You by Tamir. This shit's, it's hard. It's hard. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, yo. It's fucking
That's exactly
hard.
what I told Tamir. I was like, yo, sometimes words aren't enough. Like, you said it all. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you said
and I was here trying to, like, come up with the words, and I knew I was snapping, but I was like, yo, this reminds me of The Cool. Like, this reminds me of The Cool by Lupe Fiasco. Wow, this reminds me of, like, I know it's big, but I'm like, yo, I know I'm snapping, but this is what it felt like, again, like Kevin was saying, just like golden age of hip hop, like we came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt like me falling in love with hip hop, and like kind of also being reintroduced to it once again through you.
Okay.
It was just nice, quick, you know, a nice breath of fresh air. I literally felt refreshed when I was listening to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird feeling.
It
like,
was. It's.
I took like the first track right off the bat. I was like, oxygen. You know what I mean? Like, just felt right. It just felt right, bro.
It's funny you're saying it's refreshing. At the same time, it's like hip hop at its core. You know, that is what hip hop is. Like, that's some MC bars. You know, like, and it's like something we're like not used to anymore. But that's what it was, though. That's what it was about. Like,
yo, man, thank you, man. And I don't even throw no shade on my guys that, you know, who ain't spitting bars, because those dudes who be coming through with the melodies and shit, like, that's an entirely different way of delivering the vibes, and it's a beautiful way. But like, nah, bro, I'm grateful that I have, like, that essence swims within me, and, you know, it comes out in the way that it comes out. Yeah, and, you know, I'm just hungry to learn, bro. So I'm grateful, man. Just fucking grateful.
Yeah, don't downplay there were the melodies on there too, you know.
I was gonna say, like, I feel
some
like
of those singing parts, I'm like, yo, that I know that's you, but I don't want to, like, I can't believe that's you know. Like,
exactly. I was gonna say, like, even for mans that aren't into this type of stuff, like, I feel like it's still an easy listen to them. You know
Word,
what I mean?
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm a man that used to listen to the lyrical stuff, and I don't anymore. Trust me, I'm out here listening to Lil Got It, Future, Lil Key, Young Thug, all of my mans out here. But I can still appreciate something like this because it still makes sense to me. You know, I could still hear what you are saying. I could still feel what you're saying, and I could still see how it kind of reflects in my life and what's going on with me. You know?
Grateful, man. Exactly. I'm glad I could be a vessel for that experience, bro. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And,
go ahead.
When me and Sampreet were, we went to go shoot quickly for the Nuit Blanche when it was snowing that day.
Yeah. And
we were listening to, you know, Common, B, and like Game, LAX, and Documentary and stuff. And we were just, you know, going back on those songs and then listening to it. And it's like, yo, this shit was crazy. And it's like, but I hate them, all of them now. Like, they all suck now. Common, Game. Who would listen to any of those people's new music now?
None of their new shit.
At that time, they were so, you know, and that's how exactly what Jamal said with music is like, I'm not listening to that music now, but what I'll still listen to that, you know, stuff from that time, right? But like having that new perspective, because obviously it wasn't just like it wasn't just like this stuff sounded like it was from 2006. Obviously it sounded like it was from 2020. You know what I mean? So it's like there's the influence there that everybody who grew up with that gets, but then it's like, no, but this is also, you know, looking at the future too, of where hip hop can intersect the lyrical and the melodic.
I'm with you, man. And that's actually kind of one of the primary motivations that's just kind of been leading me in my practice like for as much as I am a sucker, as I was saying earlier, for, you know, for that lyrical side, there's nothing like just like following the flow. Like I understand so much why some people can get so into Future, they can get so into, you know, Roddy, they can get into so many of these new young cats who might not per se prioritize lyricism over the feeling. But I'm like, I'm realizing, man, there's a beautiful world of figuring out where to align the two of them. And, you know, like I think like Kenny does a lot of that well. I think Drizzy does a lot of that well.
Andre.
But Cole does that a lot. Andre does a lot of that well. And I'm like, that's something that has always piqued my interest. So I'm just on a daily basis, whether I'm consciously doing it or not, I guess sometimes it just really feels like it's almost living me now, because I'm just so in it. And it's just like, I'm just hungry to really explore how far into that world I can go, you know, still finding a way to, I don't know, give some sort of message, but like conveying it in like a mad, groovy, like soul-filled way. Like I love to, there's nothing, because bro, it ain't nothing like going to the club and like, you still got something you can rock with, you know what I mean? Like you still turn up and enjoy yourself. I'm not trying to, you know, go and listen to nothing, you know, lyrical, spiritual, miracle at the club. Like,
yeah. No.
You know, I still, there's a time and a place, and I'm just trying to figure out where I can tap into flow more often and not always just depend on lyrics. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool journey. I'm glad that this is my first foray into it. For as much as I know that there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of bars on that project. You know, for a lot of people, they kind of hit me and they're like, you know, it's one of those projects where you gotta kind of listen to again and again to kind of pick out all the little tidbits. And I'm grateful that I have that there. I didn't necessarily set out for that. It kind of is what it is. But yeah, man, I'm just excited to see like how the Sonics evolve over however long I'm choosing to rock with music, man.
Yeah. Sick, man. That's what I like. I feel like this is all just organic. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, it was just something that you just decided to do. You're like, why not? You know, like I might as well put something together. Everybody's been waiting for something, so like it's good that we finally got something, especially now when Maz are just locked in.
You know, like what else can Maz do?
Exactly.
Like,
you know.
Like I said, I'm blessed to not have to.
He got cut off there. Give him a second.
Yeah.
Oh, you got cut off there for a second. 1 second. Can't hear you yet.
Unmute it. Maybe it got muted.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
What were we saying? What were we talking about? What was
well, music. His music.
I can make a point.
Like on the point, the exact point.
I can't remember his exact point that he was just saying. That's all.
I think you were. What was the question? You were saying that people were waiting. I know you said people were waiting.
Oh yes. Yeah, people are waiting.
You want to know it? Like, you know, we don't. Luckily, I'm in a position where, you know, I do have the availability this time. You know, unlike, you know, many people that are, you know, out on the front lines taking care of business the way that they got to take care of business. And the more and more I think about it, I almost kind of feel like, in a trippy way, it's like it's if you can use your time to the max right now, like, and like go to work on yourself, it's almost like honoring the people that are out there doing what, you know, like this isn't a vacation time, you know.
Exactly.
So I don't want to.
They're not doing it in vain.
Face of people that are out there, like really putting their neck on the line, trying to make sure that, you know, the system can remain intact. Like we're really afforded something very different. This is a very you know, as you guys already know, like we've been afforded like a revolutionary moment in time right now, especially for a lot of creative types. You know, like I talk to a lot of people. Well, that's a lot, not a lot of people. I talked to a couple people, and you know, it really does seem like many people are getting an opportunity to get a good look in the mirror at themselves right now, and come to terms with maybe just a lot of personal battles. I know for me, the whole concept of the tape, you know, don't let your fear kill you. I have let fear kill me a lot. But, you know, like I said, just really grateful for the opportunity to come face to face with that realization and that, with that reality, and be forced to do something about it.
Nice.
You know, and, you know, to come back to the drum board every day and to work at the puzzle of this project. Cause I've never finished anything of this magnitude. Like you guys see the little things I upload, you know, little minute records here and like little loosies, you know, here and there, little freestyle on the ground. But like not a body of work to let go. Let my kid go off to school and I can't follow him no more. I gotta let him grow up.
Yeah.
Let him be his own person. And I've struggled with that for a very long time. But like I said, this opportunity really just kind of opened me up to, let go, man. There's a lot of joy to be found in the death of a firework. It's actually, that's where you get the joy, like when you let it go.
Exactly.
Grateful for that opportunity and happy you guys rocking with it. I'm really humbled, man. Really grateful.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate it, bro. Can you you want to tell us just a bit more about just the process of making it a little bit, so we can hear about like your choices in either the order of the songs, if there was anything, or if you have like a standout track for you or anything?
It's funny because I feel like the more I think about the project, I used to like in the process of like making the records, I feel like I would be like really connected to them like in that process. Mm-hmm. But then like after everything kind of came together, I realized like they all kind of held a spot for me. I can't like, maybe because it's also such a short project, like maybe if it was like 13 songs or something, I'd be like, yeah, like these 3 are the ones that really like talk to me. But I think because there's such a I feel like they're a really good reflection of just a lot of the just some of the mental places I've been recently. Like they all hit so close to home in a variety of ways. Like I love the energy of Carlos and Sugar. Like I've never made a record like that. Like so being able to have something with just, just that little like bounce on it, like and dancing with the flows in that way. I've never danced with flows like that. It was a technique where I've just, I've been putting into practice a little bit more lately where I'm flowing, I'll record a bunch of gibberish and then I gotta literally trace over the gibberish with words. And I've seen some other artists do that, maybe when it comes to R&B singing or maybe some other things, but I've never per se noticed it too much with like more meticulous like flows and bars. So I'm like, okay, this is a really hard thing for me. Yeah, I gotta sit here and listen to this thing recycle again and again and again until I come up with some scheme to fit the feeling. I'm like, let me come up with the feeling first and then fill it out with the words. And so that was a really cool experience. I struggled through getting the hook on the Rapture for like a minute. Like this whole process really taught me that music, and not just music, but damn near every creative process, it's really like a puzzle.
Yeah.
You lay down one piece and then you're just like, it takes you some time. Sometimes you're going to have those groovy moments where you're laying down, you're crushing the puzzle. But then some other times you're going to hit that roadblock and you're going to be like, man, like I don't know what to do right now. But then that little piece of information of, go sleep on it, go rest, just take a break away and then return to it. And having done that multiple times and oddly enough, the answer would kind of come. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
I just got to kind of stick with it and the answer is going to come. I just got to kind of be patient in contrast to old me. And, I'd be working on a record and because I didn't feel the vibe 100% or I hit a roadblock, I would just like toss the whole record out the window. And it's like, okay, well, I'm growing past that now. I'm learning how to be a lot more committed to the whole process. I love the beat switch on From Dusk to Dawn. Like I love when the producers I find, they're all YouTube producers actually.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about some of them. I'm like, yo, these beats are pretty hard.
They're pretty hard.
Yeah.
Just kind of digging through the crates, man. I had some other beats that I do love from some local producers that I'm probably going to be putting on some future projects. But just I realized, vibes speak to me at different times, and those vibes weren't speaking to me right now. So I was like, kind of doing my due diligence in the internet world and finding some stuff that I felt. So yeah, the first beat was produced by this dude named Mosin. Yeah, the feeling just felt right. Like one of my homies, he hit me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I know it's gonna sound weird, man, but like, yo, man, I love the hi-hats on that."
Yeah.
I was just like, I didn't even really like think about that, but it's like, I don't know, like the fact that stuck out to him. Like I'm sure, like some element of that stuck out to me too when I was like unconsciously picking it. But even in making all the songs, I will say one thing is, I kind of played all the beats first. And on my first attempt, so whatever would come to me flow-wise, I would just lock it in. Because I'm like, there's really nothing like the first meeting of the beat for me, like the strange magic that happens when you're just interacting with it for the first time, and you know, your brain is like, I don't know, it's a cool dance. It's a really cool dance, and seeing how your vibe meshes with the beat's vibe, and you know, if it sticks, if it doesn't stick, and you know, like that's kind of how I decide now, like how the song is gonna get done. What is it? Pendulum of the Perturbed Soul. Like I love that record. I love the split part that I did, just chopping up the beat and slowing it down a little bit. I fought through that first verse. I had a completely different concept, completely different concept with a hook and all that. And, you know, just kind of that same puzzle analogy. It was working through that again and again, but I guess that just wasn't the piece of the puzzle. It just wasn't really fitting. Like I kind of scrapped it and just kind of went for the 2 verses, and you know, I flooded it with words, but man, it's just how I felt, man. I needed to flood it with words. And, yeah, man, and made for you. Like I was gonna actually call it. I think I was gonna call it initially. Don't skin your teeth at me. That felt would be like a cool West Indian.
My favorite line of this song.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you want to know what? Like, I already kind of have an inside joke with the Carlos and Sugar, or Sugar and Carlos. So I'll save that for maybe another time or something else. But yeah, man, like I loved exploring even the way I did the hook and stuff on that record. I've never done a hook like that, you know, and to drag out the word, like, I don't know, it's weird. It was fun. It was just really fun. It's not getting married to anything in particular. I struggled through the second half of the verse on that record, but you know, you kind of figure it out, just sticking with it. That's what this whole thing just taught me. Just stick with it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stick with it, man.
Yeah, man.
And give yourself the opportunity to fail and fail forward. So,
yeah, for sure. That's good, man. That's good. Again, we love the project. We appreciate you putting out. We're happy to see new music from you, I should say. Of course, I'm going to ask, do you have any plans for other releases to drop this year, or just plans for just stuff?
Yeah, bro, like the ball's dropped now.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
We need more now, man.
Because I let this one go. Like I said, like, don't let your fear kill you. And I feel like this was like a statement for me, not just to you guys, but like to me, like the fact that I've let it go now, it's opened up an entirely different door in my own world, where I realized that, like, I don't have no excuse now. Like, it's like, I know how to put together a body of work. So let's put some bodies of work together. Like, yeah, man. I know how to put together, from what I feel like, I know how to put together some good songs. I'm always willing to learn. I'm hungry to learn. There's always a ton of new flows to bag and new collaborations to take part in, and, you know, so many things to learn in regards to this music thing. But I'm like, I let go. And I'm interested to see how much more letting go I can do. So,
one thing I would like just to point out and just shout out Scarborough and just the love and support that I saw for the project, to be honest with you, because I was seeing mans that I know that I was like, wait, you know this? You know him? I didn't even know they knew you, and I'm like, I'm seeing random people that I just have on Instagram that I haven't talked to in forever. Just post up yourself, and I know we're a small community still, but still, it's just amazing to see so much just love.
Beyond humbled, bro. Beyond humbled, man. It's kind of crazy where it kind of opened me up to, like, I didn't even know I could hold that much love. Like, before, I feel like I would do stuff like, I might even like sabotage the situation just so I don't feel like I'm getting this much energy. But man, it's been, you know, at times it's been overwhelming, but just like learning how to, like, just constantly give gratitude to whatever was coming in. Like, that's kind of giving me the opportunity to kind of fit it all within this cup. So like, man, nothing but love, nothing but good energy, you know, goes out to, you know, each and every single person that is, you know, lent a hand in sharing this just a little bit further, because nobody has to do anything. Nobody has to listen to nothing. Nobody has to share nothing. Nobody has to say nothing, bro. Like, you know, I didn't put a gun to their head and say, rock with me.
Exactly.
Like, people are doing it on their own accord, and I'm eternally grateful for that, man. You know, thank you guys.
Well, thank you, Mel. Definitely one of my standouts so far for this year. You know, last year it was Kevin's project, of course. What the hell? Yeah. But right now it's yours. And, you know, man, it's just good to see people that I know, you know, just doing good shit. You know?
I feel you on that, man.
That's
and
it.
Even when I see the world around me, even when I see you guys and I just see the production you guys drop, man, I'm like, man, bro, it's from Scarborough. Like all you can do is just lean back and just clap your hands and be like, I'm grateful to coexist in a space where you guys are the energy around me, you know? Exactly. I could have been anywhere in the world. I'm here.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So
exactly.
Yeah, man.
One more thing I was gonna point out. Oh, we got upgraded. Hey, unlimited minutes.
Hey, maybe because I haven't done it yet. That's probably
true. You haven't done it yet. So, well, yeah. One thing I was gonna point out was, as it's moving out of my mind right now. Hold on.
Don't worry, man. The train's coming.
If you forget, I have something to say.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you need visuals for something?
I don't know about this one. I don't know if he's ready for visuals on this. Let me get next one. You know, we'll see.
I think I want to do. I think I want to do something. I want to do some visual with something on it. Like I actually know I did have. I was kind of putting a little draft together, just a little concept. Let me see if I can reach out and see if I can get some grant money because I'd love to do something with Sugar and Carlos. I don't know. I had like a cool concept. I'll share it with you guys off camera.
Yeah, you don't have to tell it. Yeah, it's fine.
But like, I like a really. Yeah, I just had this idea. I'm like, man, this would be a fly-ass video, man. I think it would give everybody like just a good, heartwarming feeling, like seeing this video.
Yeah, I think it deserves at least one video.
You know, yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking. I was also
thinking a short film. Yeah, like
that'd be wild.
A little mashup of all of them. I mean, I could see it because there is that kind of cohesive element to the project. I don't know.
He doesn't know.
You're reaching,
bro. Like, my ears are open, man. My ears are open. I feel like before, and it's funny too. This process it opened me up in that concept of like letting go. I realized how like centered on my ego and how tied to this weird mystical idea of perfection I've been tied to. Like opening me up to the idea that like, what exactly is that? Like, why have I been so in a rush towards this place that I don't know what it is? I don't know exactly. I don't know what I'm like. Where is this thing? Like, what is that to me? And I realized I didn't really have an answer until it just kind of dawned on me that, like kind of working through the process, that's kind of like a state of perfection for me. And just constantly giving myself an opportunity to just move forward. Like those things for me, they're kind of like embodiments of like states of perfection. And I'm like, okay, just commit to the journey, man. That's about as perfect as it's going to get. Because a lot of us have that kind of creative spirit where it's like, we'll get to the top of the mountain and we still ain't satisfied. We're grateful, but it's like, I see another mountain now. I'm like, does that mean that this whole experience wasn't per se perfect? Like, no. It's like, it served its purpose and it did its thing. And, now it's giving me the tools in order for me to be courageous enough to take on that new challenge. So, yeah, man. All circling back to just saying, I'm all ears.
Perfect. Yeah, so I remember my point now. It was just a random thought just because of what you were saying before with just trying to focus a little bit more on the initial flow that you get with the music and just how interesting and important that has been for you recently. And just going back to like me and Kevin's experiences making music together with like 750 and Smitty.
Hey, 750.
I could literally tell you that's all we've pretty much done. Like, man, we come through, we'll sit down, we'll watch ball, have some drinks, and then we'll open up some beats. We'll have some beats from the boy Sham God come through, or like one of our other producers, and then anything that's hot, we're just like, all right. And then Smitty will come up with something, or like Kevin will come up with something, and we just go from there. And it's first verse that you wrote. Yeah. Your first verse, that's it. That's your this is the first hook we came up with. That's it. That's your flow. Yeah. That's what it is. And then we just package the song. Done. Okay, cool. We'll drop that then whenever.
But man, grateful that you guys have been doing that for so long, man.
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling, It's a good feeling just to know that you're able to do that. And I feel even better. I don't know how it is working. You're not necessarily working alone because you have producers and stuff like that you are working with through YouTube. But working in the same room with them and having that energy in the room helps me so much more, especially when I might not have any ideas pop up immediately. You know what I mean? So just being able to watch Kevin and Smitty go back and forth and make a hook that's hard, then inspires me to say, you know what? Okay, now I got some ideas. I can approach this now with this type of flow. And then, we always lay down the flow too, and then come with the lyrics after.
Yeah, man. Then the rest is history, man. And you guys got slappers.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good, man. It's good. And I like that we were all fearless in just putting it out there. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't work on the music that long. We never have, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
When we get to a point of, actually crafting something, yes, we're going to put our time into it.
Of course.
But it's good to know that we can do it tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I could do it tonight, go to Kevin's tonight, and then I know that if we wanted to, we could drop a project tomorrow.
For real. Shout out to y'all, man. I definitely, it's funny because I'm like, opening up myself to flow, it gave me the opportunity to at least get the foundation down. But then like, for me, the way that my brain is like, I gotta just refine it again and again and again until it feels a certain way. So sometimes like I had records on there, which like I might've wrote the whole verse in like 10 minutes. And then it just happened that way. And then I had other records that were just like, okay, I gotta really bust my ass on this one. Really entice this girl to go on a date with me and like really like commit to me, man. I'm trying to get something going, and it took some time. Sometimes some of those records took like a couple weeks to like get in that groove, but at least just making sure that initial foundation of like let the flow. I call it flow style. I let the flow style kind of happen, and don't fight the rest.
Exactly.
Sure, if I need to refine and stuff after, okay, then we refine, but not fighting the process. I spend so much time doing that, man.
Yeah.
How about you guys when your general creative process, even when you guys are doing videos, like how is that process for you? Do you guys find yourself fighting each other at times? Not necessarily literally you guys, but more so like
sometimes it's literally.
Okay. No,
it happens.
Like, with us rarely, like it depends. So we'll look at this two ways. When it comes to like 750 stuff and music and videos and stuff like that, it's whatever. It's like we all have a mood. We all kind of get the idea of everything that we're kind of trying to do. When it comes to now, let's create some visuals for that. Let's say, okay, cool. Now we need to do Lost in Nostalgia stuff. So that, it can get to arguments, but what the arguments are for is basically, I don't know. I feel like the arguments that we do have, it's so that everybody can understand what we're trying to accomplish at the end of the day. If you get what I mean. Like, we're all just trying to make sure we all get our little piece of whatever into the piece, but making sure that we actually have the fucking budget for it. Making sure we have the people for it, the location.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Making sure that we could still plan this accordingly and as professional as possible.
For sure.
While still, doing dumb shit and inviting the mandem out and, getting drunk on set or not. You know what I mean? But making sure that we handle things the way they're supposed to be handled, but also having our fun. So it's a compromise. It's always just a conversation, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Word up,
conversation
man.
And just communication and understanding. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I think that's it for. We'll ease off the music hypeness for you. We're not gonna boost you up too much right now. So we'll wait for the next. We'll wait for the next project, and then we'll see what you're actually about.
I'm with you, man. Well, thank you guys for just holding the space and allow me to chop.
Let me say one more thing about it.
Yeah, what up?
Go ahead.
It just completes the thought I almost had too. It's just like we've talked a lot about. Basically, the past 3, I'd say, kind of album reviews we've had. Drake, I don't remember who. The mainstream albums. The problem with a lot of them is they're 20 songs. They're obviously just fattening them up so that they can get the plays.
Get the streams. Yeah.
And the thing that I loved about this project probably the most is that every song had its intention, and obviously, like you've talked so much about putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Obviously, I already knew going into it that you intended for every song to have its purpose. And that means that you respect the listener in a way that you know that they care. Like, you know, it's for people who care about every song meaning something in the greater scheme of listening to the whole project, so that I can listen to the whole thing back. There's so many times where like these 20 song albums, I'm going to skim through the features that I like. I'm never going to listen to it all the way through once. Even if I did, I'm not pulling it all the way back because the day's done. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So, like,
it's a good point. You crafted the songs with the listener in mind. And when those other artists are packaging is, 30 songs on an album, it's a bit of selfishness.
Streams in mind.
It's a bit of selfishness there,
Okay, I hear
There's
what you're saying,
a little bit, like in the sense where they're trying to get as many streams as possible.
Yeah, you're trying to hack the game. Yeah. I feel it.
And in a way that kind of, I just took this in, like, it kind of disrespects the listener, because they're doing that with you knowing that they're trying to get as much money from you as possible by playing all these songs on loop. Whereas a project of 5 songs, you know that all you're trying to do is offer your cohesive story in a way that, like, makes you feel good once you get it out there, right? Because
word up.
The intent of the project. You're not trying to saturate it with these things that are gonna make it feel like you're just trying to get streams up, right?
Yo, man, thank you. That was beautifully poetic. I didn't even. I'm not gonna sit here and gas it. Like, I went into it with like the crazy, like the deepest intention. Like, I just know. I don't know. As soon as I got into the 5, to keep it a bug, I think a part of my brain wanted to push for 6, but then like another part of me thought, like, I think you're trying to keep from getting this because a part of you is intimidated of what's to come if you finish this. So I want to know what 5 it is. Like, I'm not even gonna, because I already knowing me, if I do 6, then a part of my brain is gonna be like 7, and that cycle is going to keep on going, and then I'm going to get done. It's going to come out during the quarantine out. Like, it would have just kept me in the same cycle of incompletion that I've been in for so long. And I'm like, yo, 5 songs is a sweet amount, like, at least just how I'm feeling. It doesn't feel like it's too much. I guess I didn't per se think, oh yeah, like, what about the listener? Like, I didn't like really think about that. But I am grateful, I guess, in me thinking about myself. I guess by proxy, I kind of did think about the listener, because
that's the point that I would make. Exactly. When you care about what you're making, the listener can obviously
we can feel that.
Put a conscious intention into it. It wasn't just how can I game the charts? How can I get as much streams as possible? And on top of that, I'm a new cat. I'm a new guy. Like, how many people?
You're not thinking about
really,
streams.
You know what I mean? Like, how many people really are going to invest 13 songs into a guy that you do not know, like, at all. You can get, like, it's a 17-minute project. 17 minutes. Like, you can listen to it 3 times in a row in an hour. That's 1 hour. Sometimes some projects are 1 hour. Some people have 30, 25 songs, and it's an hour and 15 minutes. You didn't even get to go back to the first. So, like, you get even lost in, like, oh, what song did I like? Like, what song was that? You don't even know, because you got to go back and click now, and oh no, that's not the beat. Oh no, that's not the feature. You got to kind of do that game with yourself. But I'm just grateful that, man, they're just able to crank out 5. My headspace now, like I said, now that I finished that one, I'm like, I want another 5-6, like another 5-6 on a secondary thing, and gear up for the album. So, or at least like just a longer project. So.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah, man. That is
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'll ask you just before you go, what are you bumping right now? What else are you listening to?
It's funny. I'm picking up Future. I haven't, and it's funny because I've never really bumped Future.
Really?
Like, got a couple of brethrens. I remember some of the talks that we'd have in the podcast when you'd be like praising Future, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like I feel you, and like I do understand his genius. It's just I haven't been able to invest the time into it the way so many other people have been able to. But like I've been like kind of giving that some runs. Been listening to incredible Toronto artist named Toby, a homie of mine. Put out a project, the Deluxe project to his album. I think it's called Still Plus. I've just been feeling his vibe a lot, man, and running that. Dark Knight demo tapes. I love. I don't know, something in me is really connected to like the last 6 songs on that project. So I just found myself, I don't know. For me, I keep just kind of running back through those, or when I was really like deep in it. Yeah, man, those have kind of been my, after talking, I'm thinking, and another dude, his name's, I think he's from New York. His name's Angelo Mota. And he's just like, the guy's just insane, man. I think he comes from that background of like lyricism, battle rap, but he's kind of embarked in that same journey I'm kind of going on, trying to get more in tune with the flow side of things. So like he's kind of bringing those two worlds together. And because he's a producer and an insane producer at that, he just, man, that boy can cook, man. So yeah, probably those dudes, you know, the hometown. Yeah, man. You know, ain't nothing like the hometown though.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't nothing like you know. And you know that new Sean Leon and Lemon.
Yes.
They
got a fire record, bro.
Yeah.
A crazy record. My other homie Jippy, he put out a bars ass record, bro. This nigga just dropping bars. I was in there watching.
Actually, yeah, I saw. Was that the one you retweeted?
Yeah.
With the dude in the house?
He's in the house and he's just
bro,
like,
that shit was hard.
He's giving man to work, bro. I'm like,
that shit was hard.
Easy. Like, and he's from Scarborough too.
Yeah.
He's from Scarborough too, man. Like, Scarborough's scary, man.
Yeah,
it is, man.
It is. People not even taking it in. Like,
but it's all good, yo.
Come on.
Yeah, of course. It's beautiful because it's just like, it's the tidal wave nobody sees coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's we're gonna be a problem just now. All of us.
It's already a process. I'm excited, man.
We're all in here sitting on this podcast that nobody's listening to, just talking about how we're about to take over and they're not listening. They're not ready. They're not checking the weather, you know?
It's better. It's better that way, man. There's really nothing like unforeseen snow day.
There's nothing. Yeah, real shit. Like the one we had. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? Like,
you know,
snowing. Like
nobody saw that one coming. You know, those are the ones you know. There's a magic to this. You know, I'm grateful for the experience.
Yeah, man. It's just good timing for everything, man. It's good, really good timing. Yeah, again, shouts out the frontline workers and everybody out there, you know, doing their thing, risking their lives. And just trying to take care of the situation, just because it's giving us, again, like you were saying, the opportunity to be able to, you know, reflect and just take some time for us, and kind of anybody that is healthy can, you know, just kind of figure some stuff out and
like do whatever you can with the time that you're
try to figure it out.
Nurses and some doctors out there that would love to be at home and watch
just like us.
Exactly. And soak up all the vibes. But, you know, they're not afforded that. So, you know, if we got it, let's do what we can with it.
Exactly. Well, again, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank y'all, man. Thanks for the words, man. Appreciate it.
No worries. Did you want to hang out for other stuff or cut? What do you want to do?
I could chill for a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I've been like doing Ramadan with all my like Muslim brothers and sisters. So I'm like, I'm hungry as I haven't eaten yet. So, like, I need to go get some food, man.
No, it's fine. Go do your thing. Go fine. Eat. We're gonna run through some other stuff anyway. So yeah, go eat. And again, nice hearing from you, bro. Again, thank you guys for sharing the space with me, man. Really grateful for you.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to each and every one of y'all, man. Love and blessings to all your families too.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
I don't know what it is, man.
Looking forward to more music.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, Kev, you already know.
Hey. What are they working on?
Yeah.
We gonna get something, man. We gotta get something popping.
Of course.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the collab, man. I'm excited for the connections. I'm excited to, you know, increase the circuitry. That's the analogy that keeps swimming in my head. Like, I want the circuit board to get as big as possible and make the coolest shit we can make. So, all of us, man. Let's get it in.
We need to get you on a 750 project just now. We'll get you on everything, you know.
Awesome bars, man. Let's toss. Yeah, man. Let's go.
All right, man. Deuces, bro.
Beautiful, man. You guys take care. Easy.
Yeah, man. Later, love. Yeah, like you were just saying before, Ian. Good talk. Yeah. Good talk with Tamir. Always good to have him on the pod. Always good to have him on the pod. If you guys haven't checked out the project yet, it is Tamir. Don't let fear Kill You just dropped a few days ago. Make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you check out his Instagram. Of course, his link already came up prior, but it is Clear Tamir, I believe, right? At Clear Tamir now. No longer the 7. So yeah, make sure you check him out. Show him some love. Make sure you check out the project. It's really good. 20 minutes of your time. It's not that serious. Like, you're like, just do it.
If you're in Toronto and you're listening, it's refreshing. It's true. It's like rap at its core. It's bars, MC, a lot of emotion, personal. It's good.
It's really good listen. Really easy listen. But yeah, let's get to the other shits now. What did you want to talk about today, Ian?
You came up with a point where, and I'm gonna read this sentence.
Yeah. Feel free to read the sentence, and then I can kind of.
So Jamal had this topic that said, our experiences with hearing good news in hopes it'll help us get to the next level, but things end up falling through.
Yes. So I'll kind of just go around the inspiration, and obviously not going into too much detail, but right now, all three of us we are moving up in our careers slowly, and more people are reaching out to us. So that could be, let's say, more corporate people are reaching out, and showing interest in what we are involved with our company and Kevin and everything else that's kind of going on that you guys have seen. And we're getting to a place where it's almost like I hear really good news, or we hear really good things, and like I'm really excited and I really want to do them and I really hope they work out. But sometimes, and most of the time, they fall through, or a contract isn't signed, or somebody doesn't get an email back, or it just can't happen for whatever reason. So what I was kind of going off of was me wanting to tell some of my friends some of the things that are going on, because people are always asking, oh, how's the company? How are things? Like, you guys doing good? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, like, stuff's coming. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could only talk about, certain things so much. Yeah. And it's like this silent kind of roller coaster, and this has to do with this whole point, Ian. That's why I'm going through all of it. But it's a silent roller coaster of emotions that us artists and entrepreneurs, and maybe even in whatever other field that anybody else is in, that have to go through when you kind of hear good things. So let's say, for example, we have this artist that wants to work with you guys, and there's a budget of $50,000. I'm making this up. This is not true. $50,000. And we want you guys to shoot the music video. Can you guys whip up some stuff for us? So when you hear an opportunity like that, you're like, yeah, like I want to be able to do this. So you're going to do anything that you can. So we put in the work that we can. And a lot of the time what happens is you can, while you are working on this, you're excited and you want to tell somebody, and we might have had an experience where we have told somebody, and whatever, the 50,000 budget music video has fallen through now, and then you have that person come back to you like, yo, what's going on with that? And you're like, oh, nothing. Literally. Yeah. So you get to a point after going through enough of these experiences where you just end up shutting your mouth.
You don't say shit until something is signed, and
exactly,
and it's happening.
You don't say anything until things are signed, or you're at least in the middle of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just tough, and it's something that not a lot of people talk about. It's just, that silent roller coaster of emotions when there is good news, but you can't tell anybody. You just can't tell anybody because, one, it might not happen, and you feel like, maybe shit, if I tell anybody, maybe this might jinx this shit. Yeah. And you don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah. This recent thing that you're talking about, that I'm not gonna show any expression as to how big or small it is. It's an opportunity, like the countless opportunities that we've been presented in our lives. I was contemplating telling my parents or not, because they're always going to ask me these small questions, and I don't necessarily have the way to answer them in a way that satisfies it, because sometimes I even have a hard time communicating it to myself what it could mean. So I don't know how I could communicate it to somebody who has no context for what we're doing, right? So, but I was like, you know what? No, this one I'm like, sure, I'll say something just because.
I said something to one person. I said something to my girl. That was it.
Yeah, because I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I think no matter what, something is gonna happen out of this. No matter what,
hopefully,
whatever. You know, like
yeah.
And it's funny, like it's as soon as I presented the news to you guys, I knew you were gonna say the exact same thing that I was saying in my head, because as soon as as soon as I was receiving the news, I was in my head, I was doing both at the same time. I'm like, yo, this could be sick, and like, yo, no, this is a setup, like
this is a setup. There's too many.
As soon as I sent it to you guys, I'm like, you guys are gonna do the same thing where you're like, yo, this could be crazy, but blah, blah,
this is too good to be true.
We have been told no so many times. In our and it's great. I'm happy that we've been told no so many times. Being told no before anything even happens is awesome.
You become and it's using the wrong word, but I'm using it in a good way, and it's not usually used in a good way, but you become jaded. You become really cynical. Jaded. And you're like, you're kind of crazy, but it is what it is, because you've gone through so much. You've gone through so many upsetting and disappointing times where you were hype, and you might have, and maybe you didn't even tell anybody, but just experiencing that excitement and then nothing comes from it. It hurts, bro. It hurts. It hurts.
And you can't talk about it. You just kind of got to
talk about it.
Yeah. There's been times where it's like, like one of us will send that news that we have to send in the group chat, whoever has to be the bearer of that news. And we all just like, oh shit, all right. But we're all like crying inside, We know that, but it's like, you got to just take it and move on. Like,
I was how far away from my condo downtown? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were how far away from working with this person? You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of the time it's just life. Like it's just how things go, and it's just the business and the industry. Like people and things are always moving, like there's always pieces moving. So you just kind of roll with the punches and kind of learn how to take a nice gut punch and deal with it and kind of recover, you know what I mean? And be able to keep on moving.
And then also kind of like what Tamir was saying is like, when you have these high moments, you got to like really just take them for what they are, because especially with what we do, we can't get that gratification day in and day out. It comes from being able to release something, because that's when people can share their love, when you have something to actually show for it. Because like you said, these things that we can't tell people, but we can't until we know something. It's like, you can't, like, that's news you can't share. The best thing that you can ever share is just like our product, right? And like, you just have to like take, absorb that, because those other things, like, you're always going to be let down more than they're going to reward you,
Exactly.
But I think that exactly like everybody's been saying, like, that's what made us, when it does come, like, that's what's going to make us cherish it even more, right?
It'll be a point where we're so nonchalant about this shit.
Yeah.
Like when it happens, we're like, oh, dope. All right. Should have happened a couple years ago.
Exactly. And that's how I feel about it a lot of
But I think when you get to that point, that's when like you see with stand-up comedians a lot, because they don't ever get their break until they're in like their 40s.
Yeah.
They're so much more responsible with their money or whatever, and they stay normal, because if they weren't, if they were okay before that, because, that's, they live their 20s and 30s so normally that, once you get money in your 40s and 50s, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like I would have been blowing this in my early 20s, but if I have it now, like, who cares? I have a family. Like,
you're right. When I think of stand-up comedians and the way they move and the way they look, the way they dress, blah, 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 they are painfully normal looking men, normal looking dudes and females.
That's really sexist.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant to say people. Yeah, it's just weird. You threw my train of thought off. They are, and it's interesting to think about. Yeah, you're right. They've grown into who they are, and they've become who they are, and they hit a level of fame and fortune at a time where at that point it didn't matter. They are who they are.
And for a lot of them, like so much of their material depends on them being normal, like pointing out these normal things in life. You can't, you can see that point where comedians go from like, oh shit, they got to start talking about rich things now, and there's the disconnect.
Yep. The second you start hearing about Kevin Hart and his long driveway that he has to go take his trash out at night.
Yeah.
He's scared
of raccoons. Relate to people like that.
I can't relate to that because my driveway is right there.
Yeah. Yeah. No one wants to hear rich people problems,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just being in this and doing this type of stuff is you kind of learn how to balance patience and realism and optimism and your excitement and disappointments, and you do become jaded over time. But it's I don't know, I feel like in the long run, even if this whole thing doesn't work out again, hopefully it does, but if it doesn't, it's back to what we've been doing anyway, so I'm not like worried about it. But
exactly. Especially at a time like right now, it's like this. I think we're at a point where it's like we didn't even need this news.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the point that that's how you don't get let down by it, because we need to remember at this point we never needed it anyway. So if we don't get it, it's like whatever. And I think that's where we're all at right now. It's like this is only a bonus,
Yeah, exactly. And I was gonna say one more thing too. It just adds to the long grind.
Yeah, like these little tidbits of good news.
Yeah.
You think about, good, it's going to speed up our process.
Yeah.
We're going to get to where we want to be a little faster. But if it falls off, whatever.
Exactly. And
keep doing what we're doing now.
Another point to add, it just shows that people know us. People are watching. People see what's going on. They know all of our names. Yes, you. And
me?
Don't kill me.
As long as they don't know where I live, that's it. That's all I care.
It's just funny to see, man. It's just funny to see the people that are watching that you don't think are watching. And they just decide to reach out to you after some time and say, hey, yo, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't get excited about the yo because you're like, is this yo?
You're like, finally, you have to. That's why you have to respond, because when you finally get that one, you're like, I was waiting, like,
exactly.
Took you long enough.
So we'll see. I'm optimistic. I hope this whole thing works out for all of us if it happens. And I just want there to be good news, because we've been working hard, we've been busting our asses. And
personally, I feel like this is I'm not gonna gas it, but like I feel like we're all it's the convergence, so to speak. You know what I mean? I'm
trying not to get excited.
It's the right elements of everything going. You know what I mean? Like the way that things are going. Like every week, everything that we're doing is moving on all fronts.
Exactly. Every week, and it's scary.
Yeah.
It's because before it was every few months, every few years. Yeah. Now it's like every week, every other week, I'm hearing something new.
Exactly.
Or getting contacted by somebody else, even if it's not from beep. Like me and Ian, we're getting, people that are reaching out to us too, and it's just like, I hope this all works out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm having fun. As long as you're still having fun.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Like
y'all having fun, right? That's cool.
I
don't hate my life yet.
All I'm saying is like, if they want to throw stupid bans at us, like we know how to use the money properly now.
Exactly. We're at a point where we know how to use a lot of money, so that's fine. Like, whatever. It's funny. This is so stupid, but it's really stuck with me my whole life. Like, not my whole life, but since I saw it. I was watching fucking Cash Cab.
I've seen that in a minute.
And
I was actually watching it today still.
Oh yeah. For the people that don't know, Cash Cab is like this. Is it only in Toronto or is it Canadian?
They did there's a United States. I think it's based on a London show, but there's one in the States. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. Well, Cash Cab, you just sit in a cab and it's a game show. You find out you're in the game show and you get in the cab and he drives you to your stop. But if you lose before then you get kicked out.
Trivia, by the way. Trivia.
Yeah, right? Trivia. And you can win some money. You win money with every point, blah, blah, blah. So basically, these guys, they were killing it the whole time. Of course, they're on their last strike, and they were at their destination. I believe they're at their destination at the time. And it was some of the most money I've seen anybody win because they went through a lot of questions. And basically, they had their last question. Spoiler alert, they got it wrong. And they didn't get the money, even though they were at their stop. But the reason why they even took the bonus question, because when you get to your stop, you get a bonus question. And that's what they got wrong, because you could double it or nothing. So when they were about to go into it, one of the contestants said, you know what? I didn't have this money earlier and everything was fine. I'll be fine with or without it. You know what I mean? And it's weird that
and it's a free taxi ride.
And it's a free taxi ride. Like, and I don't know why that just stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, ever since that stuck with me, I've been like, yo, like right now I'm like, I'm fine. Like,
yeah,
everything's fine. So if it doesn't work out, it's cool. It's not the end of the world. Because I remember being in these situations early on, and you kind of feel like you need to rush. Like, okay, I need to get this and that together so that this can happen because I want this to happen. And you kind of rush into things and, you know, shit kind of falls off from there. But yeah, man, like, I just thought about it, man.
Yeah.
I'm fine now. If this doesn't happen for us, I'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just perspective, and Cash Cab and the person taught me a lot in that moment. It's kind of stuck with me ever since. It's beautiful.
Every time I gamble, I kind of have that same mentality. You know, it's the same thought where it's like, if you lose, you know, you see people who like, they ruin their whole day, and you're like, you know, you can control your emotions. You're the only person who's taking this loss personally.
Yeah.
You see people leave the table, and we start roasting them because it's like, yo, like, bro, like, what are you
gonna go to a casino? You're talking about at a casino, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go to a casino thinking, yeah, I'm gonna win a ton of money. That's not how you think.
That's how a gambler. I mean, that's like a gambling addict, I guess, right?
But you shouldn't be thinking like that.
When you lose, you just have to think like, you know, I was intending to, you know, either lose this money or come out even or whatever. Like, you were intending. If you put some money in, you were intending to lose it if you're gambling, right?
Exactly.
So if you lose it, you lose it. Like, that's it.
That's what it is.
You can't let it ruin your day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's done.
Yeah,
it's gone. You'll figure it out. Unless you borrowed money from like the mob or something, you're dead. But
yeah,
at least you figured it out. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
So whatever, accept it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like worst case, you know, you die. Like,
yeah, worst case.
That's the worst case.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, after that, it's like, okay, sure,
whatever. Don't gotta.
But then after that, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, nothing matters, Ian.
That's another topic. We'll have the Nothing Matters podcast.
No, I think I mean, I don't think we need to explain it any more than that. That's the whole beauty of the Nothing Matters thing, is like, you don't need to get into this whole deep argument about it. You just need to say like
facts, actually. You just say it. And
you just say it.
And then the average person's going to be like, what do you mean? Like, I have a life, I have a job, but like, I have to
and then all I got to say is, bro.
Yeah.
Are you seeing how the world is dealing with this right now? You know what I mean? Your life doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Again, and I just like to make people's lives seem so small, but like, bro, there's outside forces around us.
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily just going to die of old age. Look at this whole situation we're all in now. It's a little bug. It makes you feel more and more weak. Like, this is a little bug that's taking out people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's set off everybody's plans. Everyone that had plans in 2020, no. It's all delayed.
Didn't matter who you are. You be the richest person on the planet. Exactly. They gotta quarantine themselves too.
Exactly. My boy Soulja Boy was supposed to be going on tour right now. Nope. There's a lot of people. I was looking. The Weeknd had to cancel his tour. He's delayed it until next year. And I'm thinking, he doesn't care that much about it. But I'm thinking about like some of the opening acts, like Black Atlas and shit like that. Like a man like Black Atlas, nobody really fucking knows.
Yeah.
This is probably his thing. Like, finally, I'm going to be able to go on this big tour.
Yo.
Nope.
And I mean, not to sound like, you know, I mean, I'm so glad that we didn't pop, because we wouldn't have to be dealing with real consequences right now. We'd be talking so much different if we had tours canceled. Like, yo, like everything matters right now. You gotta like, yo, fuck this, you know, like, but right now we're just like, yo, who cares? Because we have nothing to lose. So who gives a fuck?
It's nothing to lose, man.
But when if we did have those tours with this mind state, it would have been like, yeah, we were, you know, who cares? Everyone lost them anyway. So
yep. Man, people need to understand, like, nothing matters, simply because at any moment we have no control over what space can do to us. This is
the perfect time to grab that lesson that nothing matters, because you can get wiped out by space. What?
The sun could come plummeting to the earth one day, just because. It's a wrap. You're dead.
Yeah, we can't.
One day they could find something in the bottom of the ocean. Nobody knows what's in the bottom of the ocean, people.
We know less about the bottom of the ocean than we know about
space.
Yeah.
We don't know what's under us. People don't understand that. We could fucking monster Godzilla could come popping out the ocean. I know this sounds crazy, but this shit is real. People that are fucking couponers are living their dreams right now because they're like, I have my stockpile. I didn't need to go pick up toilet paper during this whole COVID situation. I already had it. You know what I mean? Those are the people that are winning right now because they understand that nothing matters. I'm going to spend my bands. No, that's a bad choice, but
couponers.
But like, again, at any moment, literally anything can happen and wipe out the whole earth, and it's not going to be our choice. So just understand that, yes, even though nothing matters, you are a human. We do have goals and we do strive for things, but just try to live the best life that you can possibly live. Try to accomplish some of the goals that you want to accomplish, and understand that life is short, bro, and you don't matter. So just do what you want to do in it. Have some fun. Respect the people around you. Have some fun with the people around you, and make sure that if you do want to last in time, you create something that can go beyond, that can be a part of actual history and time. Make
the people that you're leaving the place, you're leaving the earth for a better place, because like the generation that left Earth for us is like, they basically wanted to fuck ourselves, because like, what are we, exactly. And like, we can't do, because we can't even do anything for the next generation at this point. So
exactly.
But like,
nothing matters, folks, and that's why you should never be excited about hearing good news.
But listen to our podcast. That matters. That matters.
And my mother
it's a good message for, like, if you're at an early stage in your artistic career, you might, if you're like 1, 2, 3 years into your artistic career and you think that like you got your shit together, always think about the worst possible scenarios that could arise from you entering any kind of situation that somebody might put you in. Like, always try to think outside of it. Always. I mean, you can't tell anybody, because if you tell somebody, then you might have to tell them later that, you failed or whatever, but always keep that possibility in mind. And then think, if you do get it, it's just nice. If you don't get it, you have to continue going with what you were already doing,
Yeah. It doesn't slow anything down. Nothing's stopped. You got to keep moving. So,
and try to learn as much as you can from it, I guess, if it does present some kind of opportunity, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
How many times have we gotten up to a point, so at least we learn something from that?
I feel like we've learned something every single time. So it's always a good lesson, because it's always like we're getting introduced to certain different things, you know what I mean? And again, people, this is interesting news that we've received. So we're going to have to learn some new stuff, maybe talk to some lawyers and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? Like get our own. And I don't know, man. I'm excited, but I'm not excited. So we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not excited for the possibility of fucking things up.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
I just want, and again, people, we're talking about like money.
It's more about money. It's more about money. It's not about like my reputation and stuff. It's about money.
I just don't want nothing here to be messed up because of stupid contracts or money and other people getting involved, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I care about the most, because I have no problem declining any amount of money, because like I just said, I'm fine right now. So, and I have not that much money in my bank account. So
I think this goes back to exactly what we were talking about last week. I think we are at that point where we have the leverage just in the sense that we don't need what they offer if it interferes with what we already have, right? So that's the leverage right there. It's like they have to take what we already have and like what we want to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, even if that means we lose the leverage, like we've straight up, if it looks like we failed, no, like we had the control at that point, right? Because it's our decision at that point ultimately.
I'm gonna just say a closing quote. I don't know if you remember this, Kevin. You definitely do, because we always talk about this. But a long time ago, Kevin and I were told to our face, "We'll be fine," and we are. I'm cheesed we didn't get that grant money, but we're fine.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay.
They were right. We didn't get that check, but
you don't need this grant. You'll be fine.
We don't. You guys are gonna be fine. That's what they told us.
I actually forgot about that. I just remember that as a giant failure.
So tempted to
as our only failure.
Longest failure in life, because we had to ride the bus, the fucking subway from Kipling to Kennedy, bro. Like,
bro, I've never been on
sitting
a train
in that
like that.
Shame, bro.
Oh sitting in shame from one end of the fucking subway line to the next. Complete separate ends of the world, basically.
Oh my God.
And you're just sitting there and stew in it. Doing it. And you know what the best part? I say this every time. The best part was man said they're going to call me. And I was just thinking, at least we'll have a ride back.
I don't know that story.
Oh, God.
But, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's tough. It's tough doing what we do sometimes.
And the previous year they held it in the fucking Scarborough Civic Center, so we could have, you know, wallowed in our shame, but got home in 5 minutes. But we had to get home in 2 hours and like I don't know how long. You know, it just felt like an eternity, realistically.
2 hours and too long. You know? Oh man, life is crazy, bro.
But like that's the point, is like we can laugh about that shit because that shit was fucking hilarious. Like
it was really good. It was really good. Any other final thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I think we're good. We can wrap it up. Yep.
So yeah, this was episode 34. Thanks for listening once again, guys. Episode 34, the Lost and Talks podcast. Yeah, man, we had Tamir on. Make sure you go check out his project, Clear Tamir, on Instagram and Twitter. Don't Let Fear Kill You is the project name. Try not to be too excited about stuff. Stay jaded.
Yeah.
Recognize that nothing matters.
Jaded.
And be okay with that. Stay innovating. My mother texted me. She said, create your legacy.
Okay. That's hard.
So create your legacy, folks. And yeah, I think that's it, yo. Thanks for listening today. Lost Talks Podcast. Most lit podcast in the world. Ever. Deuces.